necessity. I thought I'd try a quick live, and I know I've said the words quick before, but for reals, I'm having difficulty loading any videos. I keep getting that metadata failed to upload message. Um, I'm still fairly new to this video publishing process, but yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to show up here, but I'm curious as to whether or not a live will make it. So I get a person or two. I'll explain to you why I'm live. I had, let's see, I made a couple shorts. They got posted, I believe. Um, no problem. But all of a sudden, oh, somebody's here. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Learn more. Well, I see a little body icon up there. I don't know if that's me or oh, there it's gone. Welcome to live chat. Oh, I don't need to learn more. So ain't no chat going on. We'll give this another minute or so. So anyway, yeah, gee whiz, I even took some notes. Maybe I jinxed myself by making notes. Just a really brief outline. Seemed to misplace that too. Moving around pretty gingerly. I wrenched my back really bad, and it's been hard for me to even think through some pretty intense pain. It's subsided a little bit, I'd say, from unbearable to excruciating. But yeah, so I'll just sit here, maybe see if anybody joins. Doesn't look like it, at least not for now. It's kind of early here. I don't know. Oh, there's somebody. Hey, post something. I'm trying to see if my phone is still working for that. I'm unable to post a regular video. I can't tell who's here. It looks like one body's here, but if you could. There we go. Whoa. Yeshigeta Bekele? I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. Hey, thanks. I'm going to call you YB. Hey, YB. Yeah, I'm having difficulty posting regular videos. Hey, thanks, fella. So I thought I'd try to do a live to. Oh, there's six bodies. I thought I'd try to do a live to see if this part of YouTube video posting is working. I posted a couple shorts, kind of out of desperation because I'm unable to load a regular video. It's not a super long video either, either 7 or 17 minutes. I forget. Wow, 14 people. Hey, post some notes in the comments. I really don't have a subject matter. I was going to try to. I put a couple shorts up there trying to warn people that thank you. Um, trying to warn people what's coming up. Even took some notes. Maybe that I jinxed myself. But stacking gold and silver, past, present, and future. What's your plan for 2024 and beyond? I have I since I started watching these channels. Hey, nice emojis. Um, thanks, YB. So yeah, so I thought I'd see if this live stuff worked, and then if it does or if it doesn't, keep trying to figure out why regular videos aren't posting. But so yeah, I was going to talk about my journey, my first piece of gold ever, non-jewelry gold. That's this. Great. Yeah, I didn't even think this would go. I'm not prepared. Kind of. Anyway, this is my first gold. It's a 18 something double eagle. Then I traded for that, and with a guy that got me into stacking, so to speak. He introduced me to the idea and we ended up doing some other trades. I got some pre 33 Indian heads and another little itsy bitsy golden uh, double eagle. Only it's like 1/20th of a double eagle. It's in there somewhere. So then, yeah, and this thing didn't come in this thing didn't come in a one of this fancy generic slab that I think I had to buy a box of 10 at the coin shop. I probably got it exclusively for this coin to protect it because it was all kind of loose and stuff. And he tried to get me all jazzed up about numismatic this and oh the gold's going sky high in the future. I think gold was $300-400 an ounce back then. Uh, I had actually had this before I stacked my first piece of bullion, which had a tendency to be eagles. And then I had a couple big green bulk purchases of eagles because I just got the fever. Probably for distant, probably for a totally different reason than a lot of people. But it is what it is. It, as far as why do we stack? Why as long as you're stacking, whatever your motivation or goal is. So I went from that to stuff like this. Whatever got introduced to a couple of local coin shops. Um, there we go. Just fraction of this. I know that's one of those 333s. Stuff like this. And then I started in 98. I don't know what, I'm guessing 98-ish. And then, found used that coin shop, found another coin shop, found a couple more, all within no closer than a half-hour drive. And, then I'd run into stuff like this. And I didn't perceive paying any premium, but I did, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years into it. And by that time, I was pretty satisfied, maybe not happy, but content with my size of my stack. And I'm not even sure we called it stacking back then, but I had a weight, an aggregate weight total that for a goal in my head. Oh, down to 2 people. Got a thumbs up. Thank you. How's the volume? Good, bad, indifferent? Might as well try to learn as much as I can. But so anyhow, so yeah, I went through that, and then all of a sudden, I didn't really pay attention to spot price, melt price, any of that stuff until I was ready to buy. And then I'd find out when I got to the coin shop what stuff was going for. Um, and it didn't really vary that much over 5 or 6 years. And then all of a sudden, my money, my scheduled budget that I take with me, hoping to spend, um, didn't wasn't going as far because the prices was going up. And then I don't know, 2004 or five, I got distracted by life. Um, Being a caregiver, 24/7 caregiver, got a little difficult. Hey, somebody post in the comments, how's the volume? If it's bad, anyway, just to get you caught up. Basically, I'm doing this out of kind of a not desperation, but last ditch attempt to see if posting a regular video is the only thing that's not working properly for me on my phone. I don't know how old this phone is. It's not too old. I'd say less than a couple of years. One of them Android thingies. So, but anyway, so around so my video is posting was stacking gold and silver, past, present, and future. So my past started here with stuff like with this stuff, and then I started going after all kinds of stuff: gold, silver, Silver Eagles the hard way. 1, 2, 5, 7, 20 at a time, 40, depending on what my budget was, how much money I had, what was available. And so the prices started getting kind of high. I got distracted and I just kept moving. And then eventually, I, I was doing eBay, but for postcards and pottery and oak furniture, barrister bookcases in particularly, and the the silver price and gold shot dramatically up. It seemed like parabolic almost. But so I decided, and I had seen people selling coins and stuff on eBay, and hey, had great feedback from my antique sales and collectibles, and so I got rid of all my ugly silver and had some old Balboas, 10-ounce Engelhard bar, stuff that just didn't interest me at the time, and broken jewelry, 14 karat gold, class ring, PGA ring, varsity award ring, broken chains, earrings, knickknacks. And by the time I was done, and I did really well. And the prices were high. I mean, I think silver price got up to 48 something, but it was selling for more per ounce on eBay, probably because of the fees and the competition and the FOMO. Is that what we call it? Fear of missing out. Hey, long live coins. Thanks, buddy. How's my volume? Junk? Um, so, I just, by the time I was very meticulous. Oh, thank you, long live coins. Excuse me. So, yeah, guess by the time I was done meticulously keeping track of all my sales, not just the, the silver, and I did sell some 40% JFKs, just stuff that I just didn't deem necessary. Um, and I was starting to run out of space. I was starting to have space issues. Not so much for my first two big bulk purchases really early in my silver stacking journey, but those are pretty easy. The big green things. Yeah, wow. And then by the time I'm done making sure everybody got what they bought and they paid for what they bought, and I paid let's see, so eBay fees. I think there was a PayPal fee back then, and phew, by the time I blinked, so prices just plummeted practically. But I had that 2011, 2012. I got distracted by life. I career um, antiques was kind of on autopilot, but still took a lot of tedious activity. But getting my wife ready to retire, what to do with our investments, stocks, whole life annuities, just stuff like that stuff. And I'm a prepper, so I was been prepping this whole time, since '77, really, as far as supplies, food, long term, this, that, and the other thing. And so then life, time flies. Wife come back for vacation about 2015, called me, said she wasn't coming back. Space issue is a good issue in metals. It is, but tends to wear my security nerve a little thin. So she says she's not coming back. I was living in Ohio at the time. Had a house, network, support system, all kinds of benefits. Excuse me. And family encouraged me, hey, your place is with your wife. So blah, blah, blah. I had to remodel, renovate a house out of the 1970s. And in the long run, so here comes 2016. I'm ready to get out of Dodge. And I came in well under budget. And so just coincidentally, I had been talking to a couple people before I left forever into maybe considering stacking gold and silver, and took them to the coin shop. They each got an ounce, 1 ounce eagle, not in a slab or anything like that, just a plate, something like this. And I got 10. So this was my last. So I went from 300-400 an ounce, creeping up to $1,300 for 10 1/10 ounce eagles, which was exactly what they paid for their 1 ounce. They paid 1,300, and they bought some silver and stuff. And I I apologize for not staying in contact with them to see if they are keeping up with it, kept up with it, or it's to the point now if they're still alive. But so boom, I'm in Hawaii. I have to start prepping all over again. And I'm not talking about precious metals. I figured out how to get this stuff over here safely. But I had to I had to get a new water filter, and I've got two Berkeys. One's actually not called a Berkey. It is a Berkey, but it's I think the British version, European version. Same thing, same filters. And so now, and so that took 8 years, almost 8 years. I just lost track of precious metals. I'd taken a little bit of time to secret a bunch of stuff away, which a lot of it's still in the ground. But I discovered the stacking channels, and it got me paranoid about having this, and finding out the new value, the new prices. So now all of a sudden it's 2024, and I started getting back into. I remembered a goal that I had that I forgot was to fill up a empty monster box with what I call Lucy's silver eagles that I'd buy 1, 5, 10, 20 at a time, 40, all different conditions. When they're in a new tube, which seems sealed, probably I don't. If it ain't in with those straps, those shipping straps around it, I don't know. I'm sure dealers go through these things, pick out the ones they think that might be an MS this or a PF that, and then refill it with stuff that they didn't think would be worth getting graded, and sell it as a roll. I didn't care. I don't care about this grading stuff. So now here it is. Fast forward. Thanks for getting here. I'm going to make this real quick. Appreciate you all getting in here. I'm glad my volume is not junk. 2024. What's next? So I've made a couple purchases. About a 1/4 ounce at a pawn shop, just as on a whim. Wasn't expecting them to have anything. Did all right on that. I mean, the price is sticker shock is real, but I'm over it. And fortunately, I feel comfortable with the size of my stacks, whether it be gold and silver. I have one little thing of platinum. Oh, there it is. 1/20 of an ounce. Koala. Where are you, buddy? There you are. Hi. I forget what year that is. 1991, maybe. Yeah. Cute. But yeah, I know. I see the platinum. I think it'd be a decent gamble. I don't. Platinum doesn't fit into my brain set, my mindset, as far as the future. But I don't disagree with people that are buying it, especially right now. With everything with gold and silver going up, why shouldn't platinum follow? And palladium. I don't even know what palladium is. Sorry, I don't care either. So going forward, yes, I got that 1/4 ounce, and I actually had it in my hands. That was maybe a couple days after I had uh, bought some Costco gold. They had a perforated sheet of 25 connected 1 gram Pamp Swiss gold bars. They come out to be just a little a hair over $90 a gram, which wow, that's expensive. Especially, I cannot look in the past. The past makes me kind of regret. Why didn't I? I should have. oh, if I only could have, bought more, did this. Oh man, it turns out I probably shouldn't have sold that 10-ounce Engelhard bar. I don't know. I never would have dreamt bars would be collectible or have, let alone have books about all different kinds of varieties and values and rarities. But so, oh yeah, I had my first, purchase 2024. So 8 years since I bought anything, and that was these things. And then it was, I don't know, I just buying a few at a time. So, instead of going home with a dozen different kind of pieces of silver gold in my pocket, might be down to six or five. The price kind of doubled pretty quickly. Seemed quick. So going forward, I I don't know if anybody pays attention to what I type or talk about, but in the comments, I frequently my mantra is buy what you can when you can while you can on a scheduled budget without neglecting other priorities. So for 8 years, my priorities were, long-term foods, survival gear, camping, tarps, camouflage, netting, security measures, and not the Second Amendment kind, because I live in Hawaii, and yeah, it's officially part of the United States, but not when it comes to the Second Amendment, which I have a plan to remedy if I need to. I'm not doom and glooming you, but I am a realist, and I realize my reality, my perception is that prepping includes precious metal hoarding, stashing, stacking, whatever you want to call it, to was going to fit almost any scenario I can think of, whether it's the lights go off and don't come on again ever, or a long, long time, not just 10 days, which is prepping will help you for that. Food shortages. We had a longshoreman stevedore strike here a few years back, and yeah, people were going crazy over toilet paper. And just recently, because of what happened with the hurricane, 6,000 miles away, people are going in buying toilet paper like crazy. They put a limit, one pack per customer. I got toilet paper. I got all that stuff. I got sardines. I've got handy wipes, first aid supplies. So I love it when they say, "Well, you gonna trade your silver for a loaf of bread?" Well, if you've got a bunch of silver and or gold, you ought to have some wheat or wheat berries in a grinder, or you have some food stuffs stashed already at the same time when you're buying this. So it's called a budget. Oh, look at that little coin. I think that's it. It's kind of a Libertad ish. I think it's 1/20th of an ounce. Yeah, I'd pick up weird stuff along the way. Stuff like this kilo Ron Paul rounds, Canadian rounds, Australian stuff. Not a whole lot of generic. But so for 2024, what's next for me? I got a coin show, my first ever, in Honolulu on November 10th. It's a Saturday. It's the only day I can get there. This is assuming that I recover from a pretty bad back injury last Friday night and Saturday, all day Saturday, and been to the doctor already. I got to go back Monday. I need help. Lots of pain. Um, it's subsided from totally unbearable to excruciatingly painful, but only when I move or talk or think. Other than that, if I manage to pass out, I think I can't tell whether I'm in pain or not when I'm unconscious. So I've decided to haven't bought any precious metals in October, and it wasn't for any reason other than my going forward strategy for my coin show, which again is on November 10th, if it happens, because the election's on the 5th. And who knows what's going on after that? My plan is to combine my October and November precious metal budget, which is pretty meticulously drawn up, reviewed pretty much daily. And so I'm out for pre 65 dimes. I really don't care whether they're Winged Liberties or Roosevelts, as long as they're really shiny and nice. Doesn't have to be gradable kind, just, I don't know what you would call that, BU or under BU. I have, I think, 4 or 5 pre-65 dimes total. So dimes, I want to get a type 2 gold eagle, whether it be a tenth, a quarter, a half, or probably not a full ounce, because I work on a budget and that would eat up a lot, because I'd like to get a 23 eagle, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and probably 14, just so I can say I've got one of every year. Um, Generic rounds and generic, I'm going to air quote, vintage bars, LLC. Hey, hey, Liberty bleeds silver. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised you're not out driving around digging up silver and panning for gold and watching hotels crumble. Glad to see you, sort of. Glad you're here. How's my volume? You are my volume um, connection. You have to work today. Well, that's great. Congratulations. I can't work. I'm actually off. Had to call off these yesterday, today, and I'm in Thursday, Friday, and today's Saturday. I think I'm in so much pain. I don't even know what's going on. Slightly better. All right. How's this? I can't figure this volume stuff out. I got me a fancy microphone and everything now. Just have a non-fancy aptitude. Um, Watch out for them milk spots. Yeah, where was I? So Roosevelt times. I say Roosevelt times, but I take the Mercuries. I call it Winged Liberties, Mercuries, whatever's. Some bars, 1 ounce bars. You're old. My phone is not very loud, and neither are you. Well, you're not the only person that comments on volume, so I don't think it's just you. I think it's mostly on my end, but I appreciate the feedback. Stock costs. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gator, you are so funny. Um, I'm kind of a water conservationist. I mean, I think I actually had a T-shirt that said "Save Water, Shower with a Friend" back in the '70s. So um, I I'm very judicious with my water usage. I collect water. I have a rain catchment, pretty primitive, but it's very effective water catchment system plan, and I filter all my water that I drink. I do have a fancy filter on the shower head to try to block the chlorine. But wow, that's that's fun. Thank you, Gator, Liberty, and Wybe. I don't know if I probably butchered your name. Yushigeta. Almost looks Japanese-ish, if the E's were I's. So I'd love to run into an OPM bar. Can you imagine finding an Ohio Precious Metals bar in a coin show in Hawaii? He's here for my gold. Well, hey, um, I don't blame him. The gold is cool stuff. Silver is very cool. If it weren't for stuff being so pretty, I never would have been tempted to get this stuff, even at close to the melt per ounce. This stuff didn't cost me any more than this plain stuff. But that was then, and this is now, and now super expensive. And yesterday, I guess it got really expensive. Um, but for me, that just decreases the amount that I can stack versus, um, it's if I've got X amount of dollars that I've scheduled and budgeted, and it's not taken away from other priorities, other quote unquote investments. I still have a rental property. I've still got a small, very pastoral piece of land along a 210, 20-foot worth of canal front property connected to an unlimited horsepower recreational lake. Um, I'm a big fan of whole life insurance annuities, and I think life insurance is a misnomer because it's more like death insurance. But the whole life part is pretty decent. I'm going to call it an investment, a different way to try to preserve your wealth. I got out of all. Eventually, it took a man many years, and I had pulled out of the stock market almost completely in right around 2004 to 2005 for different reasons. I was regrouping, changing strategies, and then eventually I got my wife out of her Victoria's Secret limited brand stocks in 2011 or 12-ish. And then just this August, what's that, 3 months ago, just ended up liquidating all my blue chip dividend stocks. I just cannot see this is not financial advice. Yeah, I've got some financial advice for everybody. Don't don't consider what you hear on YouTube financial advice. Do your own diligence. Follow your own, you know, march to the beat of your own personal drummer and hedge fund. Um, well, silver is a hedge against gold, which is a hedge against uh, United States currency. Constitutional is a hedge against uh, bullion. Uh, there's all kinds of hedges out there. But so yeah, I'm so dimes, shiny dimes, a few certain eagle years, silver mostly, and some type 2 gold, bars. I can't really think of anything else that I'm going to be your own bank. That's right. I'm not a big fan of banks. Sorry, Gator. I know you love them bankers. Uh, and the actual humans that are inside the local bank, my old local bank, no, they were just like me. They just had a different job. Um, I'm surprised they didn't cherry pick the silver out of their coin racks and stuff, and maybe they did, but yeah, it's the central fractional reserve banking system that I learned to not trust. Early 80s, I read a couple books by Ron Paul, Dr. Ron Paul, who's probably more famous for his book called End the Fed. I think that, I don't know when, that was in the 2000s when that came out. This was early 80s. Matter of fact, they were out of publication already. And I just happened to, I borrowed them, read them, took notes, give them back without, damaging them. And yeah, my strategy, and I do it every day. I've been doing it every day for years and years and years, is trying to limit the amount of money I have in a bank, whether it's checking or savings. I'm not a savings account, bank savings account. This is my savings account. My mattress is my savings account. Um, Other investments are my savings accounts. I just don't like the idea of banks using me. I'd rather use them. Same thing with credit cards. I think I'm pretty well versed on credit. Um, it's useful. It can be a useful tool. It can be used to your advantage as long as you don't get carried away. I gave up stuff a long time ago. I don't feel the need to have the latest and greatest of anything. I don't even watch TV, let alone own one. I haven't for years and years and years. Um, so yeah, I am not a big fan of banks, but they're a necessity. Um, I never. I'm 65 years old. So in 2017, what's that put me? 24/7, 60, 65, 58-ish or whatever. First time I ever used an ATM to pull cash out of, or had an account that was capable of doing that, was 2017. Didn't have a fancy phone until 2017. It's kind of a necessity, especially over here when you're trying to start all over. But yeah, so that's my future plans. You know, so let's say things go according to plan. I show up on November 10th. Is the amount of money that I've got budgeted for October and November that is combined? Stay out of your own stash, Gator. No more sugar comas. Well, let's go back because I'm done talking. So anyway, that's my strategy. And November 10th, I'm just whatever. I'm going to show up with some folding money and hope to leave with no folding money. He's long on. Okay, let's go to the chat. So much easier. Okay, yeah, we're all old. Um, Howdy, Gator. Gator doesn't like silver stackers. I think he loves to hate them. Uh, hedge fund, be your own bank, invest in peanut brittle. Um, yeah, I love peanut brittle. I did have a new idea concerning macadamia nut oil. You can Google that and see if your imagination kicks in. But long on beef jerky. Here would be pig jerky, probably, because of the wild boar. So what's your guys' plans? I know Gator's plans is to keep me and Gator and being facetious and but pretty upbeat. And I personally, and I know I'm not a proselytizer. Unless given the chance, especially in public, I'm not allowed to proselytize at work. So I appreciate the spirituality comments that are occasionally mentioned on uh, Gator's channel, other people's channel. Yeah, that's the best deal. That's the most important prep to me is salvation. But in the meantime, before I'm done with this flesh, I got to have something to do, right? So, well, it's been 36 minutes, almost 37 minutes. Is that a kilo coin? It's I guess you'd call it a coin. I got a one like a dragon too. It's got a fancy box. It looked like it might have had a certificate of authenticity. There you go, 2005 kilo. Big old picture of the queen. It's in a plastic case, fairly protected. This thing has been underground before. It doesn't look like it's had any tarnish issues. Yeah, that was a stacking. I didn't call it stacking, hoarding. But it's really hard to not get stuff like this. This thing, I don't know how many ounces this is. It looks like more than one. Does it say? $2. 2 ounces. But this stuff, I didn't feel any premium pain back then. Um, but they'd come out with some neat stuff. So if the stuff wasn't so pretty, and then they start making series. Apparently, at one point in my stacking life, I liked these little koalas. I got a few of them. I don't know where they all are, but they're cool. Um, Probably not perfect. I don't care about grading. I don't care about numismatic. What's the denomination on that thing? What do they call it? $30? $30? That's funny. Yeah, that's a nice. I'm going to sell that. Um, Not because the prices are so high. I'd rather. So what is that? A little over 32 troy ounces. I would rather stack um, 30, 32 of these, something like this, or 32 OPM bars, or 32 call proofs out of the cardboard bargain box at the coin shop. Don't spend it. It's worth more than $30. Yeah, I imagine I'd give 31 for it, easy. Maybe 35. But I'd rather have something more convenient and more liquid. But I've got enough ounce denominations of different stuff. I don't even think about selling. More like hanging on to. And this does have a space issue, not as much as proofs. I've got some proofs and with the fancy little blue box and the clamshell uh, with the capsule and the COA. And man, they are some space suckers. I don't know what 86 plus. I have 20, a couple dozen from 86 until 2014ish proofs, all in the same size boxes. Um, that's not a lot. I've got a couple doubles. Don't know why. I think that's when I was actually buying directly from the mint. Not a great idea for me. But that's like more than two metal ammo boxes. Ammo boxes that used to hold, I think, I'm going to guess and say 500 rounds of 22 long rifle. Not the super huge, but nice size. I know I could probably fit, I don't know, it seems like 5 times more coins in one ammo box without those fancy blue boxes. So I consider that, but it's a hassle. And then now they've got, I don't know, I'm going to experiment with some Aloha shirts that I don't need. Who needs 50 Aloha shirts? Maybe 7 at the max. I'm going to find out if I sell something on eBay, do I have to collect taxes for the state of Hawaii, or is that all done automatically through eBay? I'm not a fan of taxes. They tax everything here, food. They tax ideas. If you think about buying something, they probably want to tax it, the perceived value. But yeah. So are you guys? Let me ask you. So these are. I might never be able to post another video. That's why I'm doing this live. I've been probably getting this meta uh, something messy. Basically, fail. Can't upload, and it just kind of freezes and flashes. And that's a new thing. I haven't been doing much with the taxes and fees on AB. I think you'd be better off trying to find a private buyer. I don't disagree, but security-wise, Liberty, that that's another maybe not a subject for a video, but it's definitely a subject for contemplation. And I have no connections. It's possible that I might. I mean, I have put some feelers out there on Craigslist. I haven't been to a coin shop yet. I would procrastinate, but I keep putting it off. Um, okay, we got the Saint. Cyclops stacks. Wow. I better start paying attention to the chat. But anyway, hey, I'm done talking. Um, Maybe I'll throw out some questions that I would have had on some videos. I've actually been trying to take notes and not be so stammering and rambling out of on these videos, which again, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to do it again. And I got me a fancy laptop. Maybe I'll have to figure out how to do it with the laptop instead of the phone. I don't know. It's frustrating. I do know that much. So far on the chat, that's amazing. I agree with Please, Holy Saint, Heidi Saint. There we go. We'd love to get a hold of some Florida Goldbacks as soon as they are available. I don't I want a Goldback. I'd rather have a silverback, or maybe one of each, and I want to turn it into like an organic uh, origami vulture. But I think Goldbacks are unique. They're cool. Um, I'm not personally. I'm not interested in stacking Goldbacks. Ramble on, brothers. This is good stuff here. Cranking your volume. I will be cranking your volume. Well, I am kind of whispering. You know, it's some ungodly. It's 4:30, 04:30 in the morning here. Hmm. I should be starting to smell the incense from my neighbors. I think the gal is Buddhist, but yeah. So I was going to do a video on Ron Paul, a couple books that I read, some ideas I got from him. But as far as question, let me ask you this: so gold went up to what yesterday? A bunch, record high, 27 something or other. And so, at what point in that price, based on today's currency, you have to film it though. You make a Yeah. Well, what I would do is I would cut a piece of paper, some pieces of paper that are equivalent to the size of a gold bag, and practice first. I wouldn't want to practice. That's why I thought if I were to do that, I'd need two, practice on one, and then film the other one where it wasn't quite so awkward and horrible. But I just thought of using regular paper, although I'm sure it's going to fold. There might be folding issues. Those things, especially if they got real gold or silver running through them, they might not be able to be origamied. Yeah, I might have invented a word right there. So what were some of the questions that if I were to run into you guys? So yeah, so 2,700. Oh my gosh, people are going, oh, sell, buy, keep stacking, hold, buy the dip. Um, so what if one, and this is hypothetical, but maybe not completely unplausible. What if you wake up tomorrow, which is, oh, okay, so it won't be on a Sunday, but you wake up some one day next week, and for whatever reason, the price of gold is $4,000 and the price of silver is $43. What are you going to do? You going to sell some stuff? You going to do that fancy go Ron Paul? Amen to that. You going to cash in, cash out, partial stack, all of it. You're going to gold silver ratio, dollar cost average. Origami the crap out of it for real. Um, and so, and are you still buying even though the price is just kind of gradually going up? What seems like every day. Uh, I haven't really been paid because I'm not going to buy anything until November 10th, and it's possible maybe the election results, the selection, is going to just turn everything upside down. I'm ready for. I think at least I'm confident that I've tried to prepare as best as I possibly can with the resources that I have available to me to be prepared for pretty much anything. Gold spot is high enough that I'm actually considering selling a few ounces for the first time. I would just turn the fiat into 10-ounce silver bars. Now, see, I'm I'm with you on that. I and that's not why I'm thinking about selling this stuff or my proofs because of the higher price just before the converting it to either a I'm gonna use the word better form of silver instead of that, an eagle-ish stuff, gold, um, just a different form, something a little bit more portable, a little bit more liquid. If silver goes to $100 an ounce, what's that going to make that 32-ounce thing 3,200 melt? I think that's going to limit your prospects. I think silver has more room to zoom. I do too. Um, I don't, I don't really, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I think I'm more beyond the United States dollar, Federal Reserve note. I always have. Yeah, I don't have room on the screen for my tinfoil hat, and it's probably more like a yarmulke. I got a tinfoil yarmulke, even though I'm not Jewish. But my best friend is Jewish still. Jesus. Um, it's a good time to sell at 76 on the GSR. Trading gold for silver would be beneficial, I believe. Me too. And I don't discount anybody's motivations or reasons for doing anything with their stack. There's a bunch of, I'm going to call them flippers. They buy on Monday and 8 days later they're selling what they bought on Monday. They got it in the mail on Thursday and they've sold it by the following Monday. And that, to each his own. That's just too tedious for me. I don't know. Not so much the profit margin, but it just, for me, it's just not for me. Um, let's say I didn't have insurance and after a heart attack and renal failure and now a pretty bad back injury. Let's say I didn't have any insurance and I had all these hospitals banging on my door, calling on my phone. I got a landline. I'd probably have to turn that off. Um, would I sell this stuff no, no, I'd work out a payment plan with people. Wow, 11 people. Thanks, folks. Zoom on. Um, I'm curious whether or not I'll be able to publish this as a kind of a regular video. There's a lull between, sometimes it's hours. Uh, I'm not giving up on posting regular videos. They're much easier. This ain't easy for me, uh, especially, having to be quiet. And so, and like people talk about fiat currency. It's not just another cute Italian car. Um, so this de-dollarization of the bricks, I think that's what we're kind of doing as stackers. Yeah, trying to keep stuff, protect stuff from the system. I feel that way. Tinfield, dude, yeah, I know. Shalom. Um, but so, yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that I started out hoarding. I don't know. Did they call it stacking in 1989 or 1998? I called it hoarding, collecting. Um, is it a sickness? No, maybe it's an addiction, I guess. But I tell you what, so I don't know what I paid for this. Probably $400 max. Because when it started getting higher than that, uh, coincidentally, I had other obligations pop up, life surprises. But yeah, I don't look at that. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as my plan was. I didn't call it stacking, but to accumulate as much as I could um, on a budget, scheduled budget, and when I turned 70, so I made that plan I was about 40, and my goal was keep it safe, secure until I turned 70, and at that point, then I'd maybe treat ourselves, or um, if something got in the way, I felt like I had at least a decent, solid foundation to counter any, whether it be societal collapse or yeah, I had all kinds of uh, imaginary scenarios in my brain. There's one of my dimes. I don't have many. I think that's one of three or four that I have. So I'd like a couple tubes of something like that. Maybe a little bit nicer. Maybe more something like this. See how shiny and kind of brand newish it looks. Doesn't have to be that nice. Uh, you know, uh, price is it is what it is. Try to seek out the best price. So my mantra's been buy what you can, when you can, while you can, without neglecting other priorities and obligations and investments. And I'm still on that, but I changed the end. Now it's buy what I can, when I can, while I can, for as cheap as possible. Okay, let's get back to the chat. So yeah, uh, typing's pain, but I appreciate you guys making the effort. Now, your own fart, my stacking strategy has changed. Long term isn't an option for me any longer. I've had that very same thought a lot in the past 3 months. I've probably changed my mind a couple dozen times already. That happens when you get input from other people that make you feel like you think they know what they're talking about in their opinion, in their situation. I'm not selling anything for fiat. Like I said, I would sell this for fiat to buy something a little bit more affordable, a little bit more easier to unload in an emergency. Silver Eagles, maybe it was dumb luck, or maybe it was stupid luck or bad luck. I fell in love with the Silver Eagles and just went on an eagle tear. And it pretty much lasted almost 20 years before I had to take a break. And now, 8 years later, I fulfilled at today's prices, sticker shock, a goal. And so I'm not saying I'm not going to buy any more eagles, but I'm not worried about volume eagles. Uh, I do have a little bit of collector in me. So yeah, I want to feel like I have one of each model year, 86 to present. I got 80 2024s, no 23s or 22s. I don't know what the first year for the Type 2 was. Hey, Davinia. Wow. Ironically, I'm not a fan of banks, but my mother-in-law is. She's 86 years old, and her financial consultant at the bank's first name is Davinia, spelled exactly the same. She's a she's a she's a good human. Um, and it did help me establish some credibility with my mother-in-law, because when I went in, I told my mother-in-law what she was going to say after my mother-in-law became a widow, um, and I was $2 off because I think I rounded down on one amount. I'm talking about cashing in on some annuities, converting them to a new uh, annuity, CDs, this and all that. I can't talk my mother-in-law to buy any silver or gold. She just leaves it in the bank, checking and savings. Is it a shame? No, maybe. I don't know, but it ain't my money. Um, I do say, what are you saving? What are you saving for? Trying to convince her to treat herself, but we can only do what we can do. I learned a long time ago. I'm not in charge of other people's happiness or investments. Okay, I'm back to the chat. So anyway, this is cool. Thank you for the input. So yeah, I have some video ideas, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do. I tell you, it would be a neat way to maybe stimulate conversation in public, is to have a kind of a cool uh, silver eagle bracelet, which I don't know, I'm not a jewelry wearer, but something to stimulate a conversation. Saw a security guard. He had a 10th ounce silver eagle ring. Uh, it was nice, pretty. Had a bunch of gold teeth. He just had gold everywhere. I planted the seed, um, as far as gold and silver, and but yeah, that'd be a neat way. But do you want people to know? I mean, I don't know. That's why I like this stacking community. I have not talked this much about precious metals just on this video alone, this live, than I did the previous 64 years combined. It's just not something I feel comfortable doing in person. Here, I feel a little bit of anonymity, and I know there's hackers that could probably find me, and if they can get past my security measures and get a gun to my head to tell them where I got stuff hidden, wow, I failed. Uh, but I don't, that's why I prep. All right. So, anyhow, bang. So, all different kinds of subjects. Um, it's so much easier to get my thoughts out on a regular video. Yeah. So, yeah, long term option. I'm considering it. A lot more since July 7th, when I had a heart attack and had to have a stent uh, open up my one of four main arteries that was 100% blocked. And then acute renal failure, which I believe were from the side effects of the drugs that they give me for issues I didn't really have: high cholesterol, high blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. Now I've hurt my back and I'm all stoked up. Um, that $3 a week pay isn't much, but it does help me keep up with the price of pork. And the health insurance makes it so I don't have to pay for Medicare Plan B, which is at the minimum $174 $4.70 per month premium. But I don't have to do that because 3 days a week, 8.5 hours, counting driving time. So 30 hours a week gets me out of the house. I meet people. I get to see pretty girls in Hawaii. They're everywhere, even if they're 70. Um, so I'm going to follow the chat here. Why not? I'm feeling that big time cyclops. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's natural. And then when you throw in a silver and gold stacking factor, it complicates things. Um, and I would support anybody's decision to whatever they decide. Oh, my phone's starting to lose focus. Let me see. When I do live streams, it takes almost 24 hours usually to process. It seems as if I make it a video immediately after streaming, all of the watch hours disappear after it becomes processed. I've noticed there is a lag. There's a lag time. But usually after a live, I think this is my fourth one. I'm exhausted, and I just move on to something else. I don't. I found the analytics button or the YouTube Studio. It's pretty interesting. It's just too much work for me. This is therapy. But would it be nice to be, have a thousands of subscribers and make $2.98 paycheck here and there from the YouTube? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't refuse it, but that's not something I think about or plan for, concern myself much with. Like, you can afford pills in retirement. Yeah, I don't like taking pills. They did give me I hurt myself at work, so that limited to, like, I called my primary care. He said, told me something about some kind of, it's probably a workman's compensation organization, workforce, or something like that, or go to the emergency room. So I just went to the emergency room because my deductible is already maxed for 2024. They didn't even bother x-raying because I told them I didn't fall. I was kind of looking for pain relief. I'm a former member of the Kidney Stone Hall of Fame, so I know the benefits of Dilaudid and Demerol and morphine, whether it's in a pill form or some cute nurse injects it into you. But I didn't get anything like that. They gave me some muscle relaxers that side effects can cause confusion, dizziness, don't operate heavy machinery, but they make me sick in my stomach, and I just quit taking them. Monday, I'm gonna find out what kind of options I have if I'm still in this excruciatingly painful stage of injury. It's gotten a little bit better. I'm using heat, 20 to 30 minutes on, 20 to 30 minutes off, just constantly. I did have a regression. I think it was Friday night, Saturday morning. No, that's today's Saturday. So Thursday night, Friday morning. I'm out of my mind in pain, really. Um, but yeah, that's life. Maybe a better idea to let it finish processing than make the live stream public. If anybody out there knows anything about this, please share. Um, that's probably what I do. I noticed that it's going through some process, and I just lose track of it, and maybe even the next day I can view it as like a video. My last live was like 2 hours and a bunch of minutes long. Maybe the length of it has something to do with it. Afternoon. All right. Well, it is 0450 here in beautiful Hawaii. Um, I think YouTube is ripping me off and throttling me. Well, it wouldn't surprise me, but I've watched, I think, almost everything that you've put out. Really nothing offensive. I wonder sometimes whether the songs people are putting out as background music are recordings or live or originals. I don't know about that copyright stuff. Why is that? What do you call it? Focus, focus. See if that works. There we go. Yeah, I'm not versed well enough on why. It's just like right now, I can't post a video. I've been trying to post one for, I don't know, 12 hours or so, on and off. I thought maybe in the morning it would be easier, less, I don't know anything about bandwidth and stuff like that, but it might be less busy. I don't know how the internet, I don't know how any of this stuff works. I don't care either. I just touch buttons, click it and rip it. Afternoon, all we take with us is the experiences we share with each other while we're here. Go have those experiences while you can. I don't disagree with that, Liberty, but um, I'm I don't feel a need for new experiences. You know, there's a feller on here, super cool channel. He rides skateboard still, and I'm thinking he's over 40. Oh my gosh, it just uh, that that kind of physical activity and risk, that's an experience. 210 Stacks, hello, thanks for coming in. Cyclops Stacks, you too. Davinia, thanks for joining. Uh, that's true. Thought my name was unique. It is. It's nice. Are you a gal? Oh, that was one of the questions, one of a subject matter. Female stackers, uh, how they could affect, and I think the percentage of female stackers is much lower than males. Um, but when I was in sales, I was a retail automobile salesperson in the 80s. Back back when the best rate anybody could get was 17%. Uh, on a I think 4 year was the max term back then. Maybe might have been three, I forget. But they I lost my train of thought. But pain. Here we go, Cyclops. But anyway, Davinia. Oh yeah. So back then there were statistics, and I haven't researched it. I got a fancy laptop. I probably should have, but I wasn't prepared to talk about that. But there was a statistic that the female of a family was kind of in charge of most of the financial decisions made for the household. Definitely had a lot of input, whether that was purchasing an automobile or a house or redoing the kitchen or grocery shopping, budgeting. Females have a lot of financial influence, and I'm super encouraged to see women, young women, getting involved in preserving their wealth via precious metal stacking and collecting. That's a cute $20 bill. So yeah, that's great. If you're a girl, and if you're not, that's cool. Um, my dollar cost average is around 15 each. Yeah, that's great. Cyclops. Yeah, I don't want to tell you what my estimated cost average is. It's pretty offensively low. What does anyone collect? Because it is fun. Davina, I collect Eagles. I collected proofs. I collected Ron Paul rounds. Neat koala stuff only because it got in my way when I was looking for Eagles. But my future 2024 and beyond are going to be a combination of weight and collectability, um, and a little bit of liquidity, fractional silver dimes for a specific make and change type reason, kind of tin tin tinfoil hat stuff. Thanks, brother. Hope you well, Davinia. I have some relief. This is not super comfortable doing this, uh, bending over, and my flexibility is horrible, but I'm hoping that I'm improving. And there's an old man thing to do, get out and smell those pretty flowers and the pretty girls. Yep. Although this month, October, makes 45 years I've been monogamously um, married, consecutive, in a row, 45 years. Never thought I'd live to be 40, let alone say I've been married for 45 years. But well, time flies. The flora and the fauna. And that's another thing that bums me out. I haven't been able to do any gardening work. Still have plans. I still have to-do lists, but I'm very limited right now. Super Trump. See the girls in California. Uh, we listened to Supertramp, the band, when I was a kid. I can't remember any of their songs. Take the Long Way Home. Was that Supertramp? Thanks, Cyclops. I really appreciate your folks' chatting input. There's six of us in here. I don't know if that includes me, so maybe we're seven. Seven's my lucky number. Uh, so Silver Stallion, all right. Yay. Got some oats and water for Silver. Hi, Silver. Well, Hawaii, been there twice and hot all year to Oahu, Waikiki. Yeah, I don't live in Waikiki, but I'm probably, depending on the day and the time, it could take me 30 minutes, 25, 20 minutes to get to Waikiki, or it could take me an hour. Um, I haven't been actually in Waikiki, but I think twice since I've been back in the last 8 years. It's changed a lot. I used to work in Waikiki uh, when I got out of the Navy, went into restaurants, and yeah, it was a good time. Bars stayed open till 4:30. I think they were still called. I think some clubs were still called discos in 1982, 81, 82, 83. I forget. 11 hours behind me. So yeah, yep. I pretty familiar with the time difference between Hawaii and the UK and Russia. But yeah, it's I like it here. It's all right. I'd rather live on North America. I'd rather be back in Ohio, not so much for the weather, and I don't miss shoveling snow. I don't miss ice dams on the two-story uh, roof. I don't uh, I don't miss driving in snow, but I miss all kinds of things about North America, and particularly Ohio, which is where I was raised. When you're a new char, they only allow you to upload very slowly because there are top channels that need space to be able to upload theirs instantaneously. I thought about that being on the weekends. I don't know what that alarm is for, probably to take a pill. Um, yeah, I don't normally don't post stuff on the Thursday, Fridays, or Saturdays. Um, Sundays, it's mostly makeup time. I watch other people's lives and try to, click as many like buttons and make as many comments as possible. Trying to help. I mean, I I'm under the impression that likes and comments are important to channel content creators for whatever reason. So I just follow the program. So maybe it's because starting last night, which was my Friday night, most people's middle of Saturday morning or super late Friday. So I thought about that, but being frustrated and in pain, I didn't think about it for very long. I'd just rather be frustrated. It's easier. It comes natural. The more views and subscribers you get, the faster your uploads will become. They're sneaky like that. I guess I can understand that. I'm sure they're not trying to do this kind of business for free. So yeah, I don't blame them. And you know what? These people that get sponsorships, and by the way, uh, no one's beating down my door to get me to ramble about their product or services. But I do not. I have no issues with people monetizing. Is that it? Monetizing their channel efforts because it ain't easy. And man, I can imagine some of these people probably got assistants to do a lot of the mundane uh, button touching stuff. Why the focusing's kind of weird. That's not a bad thing to just remain on. But yeah, I don't know. But I tell you what, I am tired of. I'm tired of Dr. Gundry. And it seems like it doesn't matter what kind of video I'm watching. It could be a prepper video, it could be a kitty cat or a puppy video or a bull terrier video or a cooking video or uh, political unrest video. He is just, it seems like every 5 minutes he's in your face. Polyphenol this, lectin that, buy this, click here, waste 45 minutes. Um, yeah, I'm tired of him. But as far as the big stacking channels, good for them. That's America, free market. And and if ouch, if I figured out that you can zap through commercials, I'm sure other people have. I'm not interested in YouTube Premium because I don't have a script subscription to anything. I have zero paying subscriptions. Um, I don't care, and I also like having the control to watch, like a 30-second commercial, especially on our stacking community, big or small channels. I just let it run. Now the Gundries I skip as soon as I'm able. If it's a 30-minute video, an advertisement for a 45-minute seminar or a live process to learn about whatever, um, no, I'm going to skip through that. But I enjoy thinking that I'm helping another stacker attain whatever goal it is they have concerning their YouTube channel. I like it. That to me, I think stackers could be the foundation for a new reset order, financial system. I don't know how much power we have, probably very little, but the power to be able to stay out of the system long enough to regroup, re-strategize. I think a healthy foundation of silver and gold, especially gold, but silver as well. Um, I just think it's fantastic. To me it makes perfect sense, even if it's just somebody says I'm starting out stacking. I ain't got but 7 ounces, and I got a gram of gold. Well, I think you're way ahead of the game. And I don't know what the percentages is, but I'm going to guess and say if you've got 7 ounces of silver in any form and a gram or more of gold in any form, I think you're ahead of probably 80% of the rest of the United States population. Now, yeah, they might have a piece of paper or a website tally of all kinds of electronic stuff that they air quote own ETFs, SLV, or SPSLV, whatever. But physical, out of the system, non third party, susceptible, physical precious metals. Come on, focus. I think that's the ticket. But that's just my opinion. Not financial advice. I think that's funny when people say that. I've got it in a disclaimer, and nobody's listening to me anyway. But my financial advice is to do your own due diligence and take notes. So back here, definitely fewer lady stackers. Yeah, I think so, but 15% females watching my channel. I wonder how that compares to other channels similar to mine. I don't know. I don't know how to find that out, but I would imagine that on average, it's probably the same for everybody. I think percentage wise, from at least I think the last statistic is from 2020. I think it's like a 5-to-1 ratio of males to females stacking. But I think that those kind of statistics are susceptible to people wanting to, not share their secrets. Guardhouse tubes are nice for British pre-1947 junk silver. Yeah, I know folks in the UK. You have more challenges. A VAT tax, which I think is applies to silver but not gold, and it seems pretty rigged to me, unfair to the common person. Uh, my thoughts on the central banking fractional reserve systems seem to lead back to the Bank of England. I'm not going to get into the political aspect, but yeah, but I think women uh, do. I think they have greater pull in household financial decisions. Again, stacking, groceries, budgets, you name it. And I don't know. I feel that that's pretty valid opinion. The woman was in charge of the house and money while the husband went out to work, but not anymore, though. Correct. But I think the teamwork aspect, I still think, just in my opinion, women have more say. And I can only speak from personal experience in my household. Um, we share decisions. Is my wife on board with stacking? She doesn't care. But when it comes to I know this much. I wanted to get a RAV4 to replace the Corolla. I lost that argument um, because of that spare tire holder on the back of the RAV4. She doesn't like it. Uh, but when it comes to budgeting, for me, it's teamwork, and maybe that's why we've been able to stay together for 45 years. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said 45 years. Stallion. I'm gay, sadly, but thanks. Don't be sad about that. So it might be more competitive if your spouse is the same gender, but that's no problem whatsoever with me. Consecutive, that's hilarious. I'm going to use that. Oh yeah, in a row, in a row. Now they do say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So from about 1988 until 2015, my wife, who's a local Hawaiian, she's a Hawaiian Chinese Portuguese with a little bit of Japanese, and I think some Haole that they don't count. But she would come back after that first winter. She didn't want to stay in Ohio during the winter, so she'd come back almost every year. There might or every 18 months, just depending, just to miss the snow and the slush and the cold. Uh, Let me see. So been there. Okay. Bye, Davinia. Thanks. Peace out, y'all. Bye, Liberty. Take care. I think you get. Okay, so Silver Stallion says, I think if you could get monetize or promote the channel, more power to you. If it brings awareness and more people to the community, that's what makes a difference. I agree. And even from a personal financial standpoint, I mean, I just have no problems with it whatsoever. Dr. Gundry, he's just, that's too frequently. That's overkill. Been there on the, whoops, been there. Silver Stallion says, been there. I'm the youngest one in my coin club. Wow, coin club. That's cool. When I started this channel, my goal was to get young viewers. 44% of my viewers are between the ages of 18 and 34. Wow. Um, I don't know what my percentages are, but I'm happy, excited, and comforted by the fact that people between the ages of 18 and 34 are paying attention to people like you, no matter what your age is. I mean, I'd be tickled if they paid attention to what I say, but I think the chances are a lot lower for someone that's more well versed in today's culture, today's stacking situations. I'm still learning again. I'm not sure, but I think you get to 10K, 10,000 subs before being monetized. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I don't, I have zero thoughts on that. But I think 10,000 subscriptions sounds like um, 10,000 times more work. Uh, but I'm sure there's ways to manage that, especially with people that know how to use computers and mega this and bytes that. Have a great day, Stein. Yes, we need younger folks in the community, Liberty Bleed Silver types, and we have to figure out how to reach them. I'm probably too old, but I try. Later, brother. All right, bye, Liberty. Thanks, man. If gold keeps going the way it is, says Davinia, I'll have to switch to platinum. Well, I think platinum, there's my only platinum. My entire platinum stack is 1/20th koala X. I don't even know where I got it. It was cute. Probably had some leftover money, and boom. But I think platinum, from a maybe especially from a short-term side, I think, I don't know. I don't have any problem with people buying it. I'm just not well versed enough in it. I'm not familiar with it. For me, it's never been uh, money like gold and silver have, but you know, that's it. Only been stacking 8 months. Congratulations. Only. That's a relative term because in 8 months, I believe you've helped put yourself in a position that quite possibly, if things go a little sideways, will put you in a much better position than someone that hasn't been stacking at all. Um, and I just think that's wonderful. Um, and then to be involved in the stacking community, it's I think you're only going to be exposed to more opportunities and ideas that are going to further progress your wealth preservation, or for whatever reasons you're collecting, hoarding, stacking um, precious metals, whether it be silver, gold, or platinum. Uh, I know they make platinum jewelry. I think for a while there it was real popular. And I remember platinum was more expensive than gold. Kind of, maybe not way more expensive, but definitely consistently more dollars per ounce for platinum than gold. But I know the catalytic converter stories. Uh, but I can see it, and I think people that bought platinum 4 months ago, or 3 months ago, or 2 months ago, I think today they probably could flip it for a air quote profit, and then you know build upon that, snowball effect to the point where they've attained whatever financial goals they're after. I'll have to switch to platinum. Yeah, I did that one already. Been second 8 months. That's fabulous. You can avoid the VAT by buying secondhand silver. That's nice. I avoided 4.172% sales tax on what was considered secondhand silver when I bought a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago a quarter-ounce gold eagle at a pawn shop. That same coin would have been almost 5% more based on the selling price at a coin shop, I think. Haven't been to a coin shop in Hawaii yet. Um, I've done a little bit of research. Captain Nobi, nice. Thanks for joining. Congratulations on 45 years. Well, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry about your mom. I cannot imagine life without my wife. Um, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. There's a really good chance that I will go before her, and that's why I stack. I stack for her future. I stack for her non-misery. I don't think I didn't think that starting to accumulate gold and silver was going to make me rich someday. But I thought there might be a good chance that it might help prevent me from being miserably poor or put in a compromising situation where my wife's comfort and security would be in jeopardy. No, still here, saying bye to Liberty. Bye, Liberty. Hi, Davinia. Why don't they count the Howley? Oh, that's a whole other video, dude. When I first got to Hawaii in 1979, they called me Howley Grunt. I was in the Navy, and it didn't matter whether you were an E3, E4, E2, EIEIO, or a captain, an O6, or an admiral. You were a grunt. They could tell by your hair. They could tell by the way you walk. If you were at the beach, out of uniform, they could tell by the way you wore your surf shots. Um, that is an old. Howley can be taken as a term of endearment, but also as a pretty severe racial epithet. Um, Howley. Some people think Howley means foreigner. It's more. And I can understand it. Indigenous heritage, mixed locals having a grudge against the Caucasian race, the missionaries. The missionaries came to Hawaii to do good, and their offspring did very, very, very well. But yeah, so I don't think it does mean foreigner, and it doesn't necessarily mean Caucasian. I learned over the years that one theory is it means without breath, because when the missionaries come over here, in the late 17th century, mid to late 17th century, I think, when Captain Cook ran into the islands. I guess you could say discovered, but they brought their New England attire, so they were wearing wool and undergarments, and in the tropical heat, it didn't take long for them to start to stink. And so, as they're trying to convert the heathen from paganism into Christianity, they stunk so bad that the local people had to hold their breath when they were around them, and that's how they end up being called Howley. I don't know how much of that is true, but I like the story. They don't count the Howley. My family don't count the Howley because there was on the Big Island side, on my father-in-law's side, and my mother-in-law's side on Oahu, there were elderly. These were local folks born in Hawaii, maybe second, third, fourth generation or beyond. My father-in-law's grandmother didn't speak English, only spoke Hawaiian, and for a while didn't speak it, had to whisper it because they made it illegal to speak in Hawaiian for a moment, a period in time. But so for me, it was just built up prejudice, bias towards the Caucasian race, and back in the day when I first met my wife, and we'd show up for family functions where, aunties, uncles, cousins come from many different islands, Oahu, Big Island, Maui, Kauai, got relatives via marriage on all those islands. I wasn't allowed to go inside because Auntie Josephine was there. Now, Auntie Josephine was Hawaiian Chinese, hated whites, hated us. Do I blame her? Not really. Did I feel sorry for her? Not really. I just did what I was told. I can't find Divinia. Could you please make me a moderator so I can subscribe? If I knew how to do that stuff, Liberty, I would. Um, but I do know this much. Uh, when, if and when this thing gets published in the regular kind of video version of it, I go back and I click on the participants, check out their channel, and if I see somebody, they don't have any subscribers, they don't put up any videos, I don't subscribe. Um, but I will make a comment on their comments. Um, if it's in that non-live chat section, the regular video chat stuff. But it's a pretty unique Davinia, and I doubt if there's a whole lot of Davinias on YouTube. Could be wrong. There might be a couple dozen. Who knows? I know there's actually another Silver Sleuth, but not Silver Sleuth 007. My dog is starting to make noises. What time is it? Yeah, 05:22, right on time. He's like a clock. Liberty Bleeds Silver. Says, I haven't left for work yet. It'll only take a minute. You can change me back right away, please, and thank you, brother. Again, sorry, Liberty. If I knew how to do that, I would. Let me see if I can. I mean, I don't even know what button to press. I'll probably erase everything. Oh, here we go. Davinia Robbins. I'm here, Liberty. Thought you were leaving. Silver Stallion adds, well, I purposely hired a young editor so that she could edit the videos in a way that young people would like. Well, ouch. Sorry. That's smart. That is a smart idea. Mr. V. Rose, good morning. I know I got a few platinum tents in my stack. Neat. I tell you, I'm not ruling out the thought that if I saw a platinum, whether it's from you know, the UK or Canada or Australia, and it was priced right at the coin show, I'm not opposed to that. I think platinum's kind of cool. Good morning, Mr. V Rose. Sorry to hear about your mom, Davinia. Yeah, really, it it's but in my opinion, life is a race to death, and get the best out of it as you can. It's hard for me to leave a live stream, Liberty says. Liberty Bleeds Silver says. When Sleuth is sleuthin' at Davinia. That's funny. Emoji. Loading the truck right now. Is that, some people say like backing the truck up? Good morning, chat. Thanks, Mr. V. Rose. Davinia Robbins says, sold a couple half-ounce gold Brits on eBay last week, intending to upgrade to a full ounce, and then a new rally started Wednesday morning. Damn. I feel you. Uh, that's that's pretty. I did really well on eBay. It was tedious. Um, I had a desktop that made it easier. Yeah, 13 years. Wow. So what is this, 24, 2011? Yeah, it's been 12 since I lost my dad and almost a year since my father-in-law passed away. Never fun. Uh, there's no sales tax on U.S. denominational coins and currency in Florida. That goes for gold and silver. I wish I could say the same. Actually, in Ohio, during my previous stacking career exercise, so when I first started going to coin shops, there was no tax. Then one day I showed up, and all of a sudden they're charging tax. Something happened in the state house, and grumble, grumble, grumble. Everybody was grumbling. And then not too long after that, though, all of a sudden, oh no, they repealed that or rescinded it or changed it. No more tax. So yeah, but in Hawaii they tax everything. I mean, they're just, and who knows what they're doing with this money. And to register a car, to get the sticker to put on your license plate over here, I average it. I'm going to average it and say it's about $400 a year for this little sticker. Uh, and probably not even an inch square, or possibly a square inch worth of plastic or vinyl with adhesive. And and so and I estimate again, I'm familiar with the car business and numbers, and I know how to finance it. So let's say there's 1 million registered vehicles on Oahu. That's uh, that's almost $500 million a year, and you certainly just can't see where they're spending it on the roads, especially. But now we got this. I think we're going into a 15th year of a 1 billion dollar project that is now ballooned to 14 billion, and they're not even halfway done. And man, what a scam! Uh, what needed the fund show? Let me back up a little bit. No sales tax. Well, that's great. Uh, I've been to Florida. My mom lived in Florida for a while, Tampa, St. Pete area. Bruce B. Downs. I remember I played a golf course on that boulevard and played, I think it's called Innisbrook down in Tarpon Springs. I like Florida. Snowbirds. That's what, in the 60s, we were snowbirds. So I have my family, which is two parents and two young boys, uh, Uncle Dave and Aunt Janet, and their two youngish boys. Then we'd meet Peg and Charlie down there, and Florida brings a lot of good memories. Right on at Silverstein, says Mr. V. Rose. I've made the trip the past 3 years. I'm in Southwest Florida, Naples to be exact. Where are you located? Mahalo, not sure of the spelling, Davinia Robbins types. Yeah, Mahalo is perfect. Mahalo, thank you. Mahalo Nui Loa. Thank you very much. I'll tell you a funny story. So when I first come to Hawaii, while I was trying to not get mugged and jumped by the locals, they had trash cans. They kind of look like spaceships almost, especially at the top. And, just throughout on the sidewalks, Waikiki, all around at the beaches. And on the side, it would say Mahalo. Well, when I first got here, I just kind of rode the bus. It was super cheap, like 50 cents. You could go around the island. You could go to the North Shore, spend hours, and then they had this transfer piece of paper they gave you after you paid your 50 cents, and you could get back to where you were, or go around the island on the way back, or go back the way you came. That's super cool. And so, and I get on there, and I'd already experienced the uh, the situation that locals felt towards Caucasians, um, or especially uh, service members in general, no matter what race. Um, and so, and the bus driver, so I put my 2 quarters in the machine. It kind of sucked it in there. And the bus driver would say, Mahalo. I'm thinking, man, they really do hate us, calling me trash just for getting on the bus. I was just so howly, I didn't know I was howly. But nope, you got the spelling correct. Silver Stallion says Orlando. Yeah, that's Disney World, right? Orlando Kissimmee? Mr. Veros, emojicon. That's cool. Great to meet a neighbor. Yeah, at Silver Stallion. I will search for your channel and subscribe. Yeah, Silver's got some great content, some great graphics, good sense of humor, and I think you'll enjoy his channel. But what a luxury, I think, that you folks have to where you are within geographical reach of other stackers. Like for instance, blue collar stacker goes by Average Joe, and then he's married to Average Jane. Well, next thing you know, he's got videos and shorts and stuff, and Liberty Blue's got it, blue collar stacker goes to Las Vegas, meets up with Liberty Bleeds, and they're taking videos of going out on the town, um, and filming the destruction, the demolition of I believe the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas. They're going to replace it with a baseball park or something like that for the Oakland A's, which I'm assuming they're going to call Las Vegas something. Should be the Las Vegas Aces, and they could keep the logo, save money, just use the same A instead of athletics. The Las Vegas Aces. Davinia says, I don't upload videos. The sun will be coming up soon here. Here too. There. Yeah, here. Mr. V. Rose, thank you, Silver Stallion, says. Divinia Roberts, dog. We all get it in the end. Emerald Coast Stacker, new name. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Top of the morning. I got a good deal on the coins. 150, is that pounds or euro in profit? Oh, nice. Good for you. Sold them well above spot, but less than a dealer would. I think that's a great strategy. Um, I used to, at first, I was a little apprehensive when I sold my ugly stuff in 2011. I'd already discovered, at least in my opinion, I just started every auction out at 99 cents. Why? I think it was cheaper. I think you had to pay an extra fee if you started it higher. And I kept a close eye on stuff. And so I had great success with uh, eBay, but, and people get auction fever. Yeah, I've, I've never sold anything to a dealer. Uh, Good morning at Emerald Coast Stacker, says Mr. V. Rose. You're all, you're really a friendly group of people in this stacking community. It is nice how receptive uh, you folks are to new people's. I like the bus in Hawaii. Yeah, the bus. Back in 2012, you could ride the bus all week for something like $15. Yeah, I think yeah, the bus passes have gone up. Everything's gone up, of course. I mean, that's not news. So it was 50 cents in 1980 uh, with a transfer, so a round trip around the island of Oahu. And I think now that there is no transfer deal, and I think it's $5. But you can buy what they call a holo card, which is a preloaded, probably like a debit card thingy. And I think you get a break on those prices. They used to have senior prices, and they probably still do. They were very generous back in the day. And even golf, um, it was there were deals, but now everything's just no deals. You see, Emma goes, "Hi, morning. I lived on Oahu for 8 glorious years." Well, I've been back for 8 glorious years. For me, I just, yeah, I have a preference, but it's like fine print on contracts. There's not much you can do, if anything, to change it. Might as well sit back and enjoy it. So I'm trying to make the best of uh, the different lifestyle that Hawaii offers. It's expensive, but the beach is pretty much free. Um, don't have to worry about paying for heat. I don't. We don't. Actually, I could get by, except for sewage utilities, I could get by with out electricity or running water even. I live close enough to the mountain. I've already scouted. There are streams. I filter my water anyway. I know there's some cooties in the fresh water in certain places. Um, so I'm close enough to the jungle and high enough on the mountain to not have to worry about tsunamis and those kind of weather threats, weather phenomenon. But it's all right. It's not horrible. It's changed a lot. I spend 3 days a week. I work for a charity, but I get paid with insurance benefits. And and it's not a great section of the island. It's a tough suburb. Um, Lots of people way less fortunate than you and I. Sometimes it's brought on by what I perceive as mental illness that could be complicated or caused by drug abuse. So is it paradise? Yeah, certain parts, but is it paradise for everybody? No. I think it's probably easier and safer to be homeless in Hawaii than it is in a place that experiences sub-freezing temperatures, but it's bad. And crime is not probably, I mean, it's definitely real. So I believe a person has to pay attention to security, whether that's using fancy little cameras, surveillance cameras. I use a lot of passive warnings, fishing line tied to containers with noisy cans in them, staggered, kind of like in the bar business, you'd call it a butt funnel. Try to create physical obstacles that if somebody's going to try to encroach upon the property and or the structure, they're going to have to go through a lot of noisy places, and there's a good chance that it might cause them to move next door or down the street or across the street. Lychee, I have a lychee tree, and although it hasn't reconnecting, I'm live. Even though my lychee tree hasn't been bearing any fruit for the last 3 years, when it did, uh, people will trespass. They'll climb a fence to grab some of your lychee. Lychee's very popular. So back to the chat. Morning, all. Yeah, 8 glorious years. Good for you, Emerald Coast. Yeah, I've been coming back and forth to this place since 1979. Uh, but again, if I wasn't married to my local wahine, I, you know, might might never have come back to this place once I got out of the service. Didn't see many local. Maybe it's not in Oahu, Waikiki. Most of the locals in Waikiki are they're gonna have money or have no money. Um, Locals don't like the hustle and bustle of Waikiki, I think in general, but yeah, the the, the visitors definitely outnumber the locals down there. But a lot of locals work Waikiki because that's where the money is. Davinia Robbins says, I remember the taxi driver telling me locals need to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And he ain't lying, especially in 2024. But I have to uh, take note of people. People are no different here than they are elsewhere. Some people have extravagant spending habits. So yeah, they might be working 3 jobs, but they might be driving a $50,000 hybrid that is not absolutely necessary. Um, they still eat out, So yeah, it's yeah, there's a lot of people, and so I typically describe it as and I'm concerned about everybody, but with all the new gentrification and progress and affordable housing here, affordable housing, believe it or not, is $800,000 for a new build, and yeah, I know they probably have. I'm sure they have restrictions and regulations to make them somewhat hurricane resistant, but man, there's just not much to them. No insulation. The house I live in is just about an inch and a half thick redwood, you know, 1 by 6 by 10s. A lot of beam constructions. It looks like pretty solid beams. I have no idea what the wood is. I doubt if it's koa. It's probably, I don't know, oak, maybe. It's all imported. But yeah, so my typical description of the what I would consider the most vulnerable citizens of society are the elderly, which they call kupuna over here. Uh, I'm 65, but probably not old enough, and I have no offspring to be called kupuna. They call me uncle, which sounds a lot better than hey, howdy. Um, but so yeah, the typical young, working, poor couple between the two of them, they got 3.5 jobs. They got the average 2.3 kids. They might be fortunate to have a grandma or an auntie to help with child care. And they are, one mishap away from losing everything, working, you know, 60 plus hours a week each. It's sad. I don't know what can remedy that. I mean, they're trying to limit what homeowners, property owners, fee simple people that actually own the land that the structure is built on, whether it's paid off or still in a mortgage. They're trying to limit their possibilities of capitalizing on like Airbnb, um, time sharing, stuff like that. It's a very complicated and very political process. Hawaii is a hegemony. It's a one party, one class decision making government. So, not much you can do about stuff. You can grumble, but you can also, you know, run into some hot water. Silver Stallion says that demolition video Liberty Bleeds did was epic, super fun. Yeah, it was. And those fireworks and the drones and the the precision demolition and Blue Stacker. Sorry, average Joe. Oh, I forget. Average Joe Stacker, Blue Collar Stacker. He was there. He had videos. Man, what an event! What a memory! And the fact that they met up, and it's possible that a year ago they didn't even know each other at all. Uh, Mr. V. Rose asked Emerald Coast Stacker, where are you now? I think he's in Florida somewhere, but I'm not sure. Emerald Coast, that sounds inviting. Mr. V. Rose just subbed at Silver Stallion. I think you're going to enjoy that subscription, the graphics especially, and got some humor and really good camera work and production wise. And earlier in the chat, he talked about having a young person doing editing or something or other. Pretty neat stuff. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Bradley. All right. Uh, Bradley's definitely a fun person to be subscribed to, or if he's subscribed to you. Good comments, good, consistent, loyal follower, and person to follow. Just the AC. Yeah, I don't participate in air conditioning very much. I do have a window air conditioner for my dog and my wife, and so I get to enjoy the comfort in the bedrooms. But the only time I'm inside the house is to use the restroom or get some horizontal time. Dub C's coins and precious metals. Hey, Silver Sleuth. Hey, everyone. Dub C. There's a channel you need to subscribe to as well. Oh, everybody in here, I'm pretty much subscribed to. Not Divinia yet, but I'll remedy that. Um, Silver Stallion. Awesome, Mr. V Rose. Appreciate you, brother. See, just a great attitude that you folks have. And I think positivity and friendliness and kindness and camaraderie, I just, those things, I just don't, I think they're priceless. I couldn't believe I'd be able to figure out what kind of value that provides me personally, my opinion. I live in the sun tropics of Southwest Florida. We wear shorts, and when it gets cooler, winter shorts. Well, people here get cold. Matter of fact, when I first got back in 2017, I made one trip earlier to scout it out, and then I had to do a lot of repairs and renovations and reinforcements, the fence and stuff. Because the next trip, I brought my bull terrier, Ikaika. He passed away. I got a new one, Forrest. But my last bull terrier, probably in my life, because I average about 12 years out of every bull terrier, and he's not quite. He's just maybe 19 months, coming up on 19, or just turned 19 months old. So he should last another 10 years, which puts me at 75, and I don't think I'll be in the position to take care of a dog responsibly. Um, but yeah, so I got here, and so I was going down to Home Depot, which opens at 5 o'clock in the morning. And when I got down there, now it was in November when I was going down there and buying, 2x4x10s and 4x4x8s, and potting soil and decorative garden stuff and security measures and locks and things like that. And I'd show up in a wife beater and shorts and tennis shoes, and these guys are they're actually doing kind of work out in the just outside of the exit from the more of the commercial builder construction guys side, and they're all bundled up in hoodies and gloves and watch caps, and I'm sweating profusely. Uh, yeah, I got some what do they call dirty looks in Hawaii. I got a lot of stink eye. Uh, yeah, I like that winter shorts thing. I'm gonna steal that one, uh, Mr. V Rose. That's a good one. But I met a man in a hotel lift with his dog. He'd been there 10 years. Yeah, Hawaii loves their dogs. Uh, there's a lot of feral cats. I have a couple. Well, I'm down to one feral cat friend, Pumpkin. He's orange. I kind of feel like I saved his life or rescued him. He showed up as a very small, very young cat who had been abused. Someone had severed his tail to his rump. And I think they must have used some gardening shears or pruners or something. I mean, it was just horrible. I mean, it was a mess for over a year, but he's healed up now. He disappeared for 11 months and then reappeared a few months ago. So he comes by have you ever heard of booty calls? I call when he comes by for a foodie call. Uh, Hi, Bradley Osmond at Mr. V Rose. Davinia, you fit in well. Very kind. Good. Mr. V Rose says, good morning to Dub C Coins and Precious Metals. Now there's a channel. Mr. V Rose states, I used to have a large mature mango tree in the front yard of my first apartment, and people would always stop and park along the curb and climb the tree to take mangoes. I feel your pain, bro. I've caught guys leaning over. It's a 6 foot tall chain link fence in the back of the property next to we got two mango trees. One's a common, the other one I think is a Hayden. It's been a tough year for mangoes this year. The common common mango tree did produce, a few dozen mangoes early this season, but nothing since. And the other one, Hayden, I think does it has produced fruit late in the season. We're starting to see some blossoms, but they've got these orange neck, green. They're called parakeets, but they're big like a parrot, and I guess they're a nuisance, and they damage a lot of commercial fruit trees and residential trees. But yeah, I love mango. Uh, I think it was last year or the year before last. It was just a bumper crop. I mean, we had mango coming out of our ears. We pickled mango, dehydrated mango, fresh mango. I was giving mango away, and then you give it some to your neighbors. Then they come back 2 days later with mango bread, mango. Lychee, not so much. Lychee's super. Lychee is a trespasser magnet. And trivial trivia. There's something like 50 different mango varieties of mango in Hawaii. I think that's pretty interesting. When it rains there, it really rains. Divinia Robbins states, not so bad though because it's warm. Yeah, um, I tell you, when I first got to Hawaii, I got a motorcycle, uh, and it was so cold riding at night with the rain that I used to tape and apply those big 10 milliliter or millimeter thick contractor garbage bags just to stay warm. And then sometimes it rains so lightly, like a mist. It reminds me of uh, in October, whenever the first snows would start to appear in Ohio, and I remember looking at that. Wow, is that snow back then in Ohio? And then here it reminds me of those times. But I like free water. I live high enough, close enough to the mountain that all year long, usually can count on some rain overnight. and then I have a catchment system. So, and I use most of that for gardening and other purposes. And for drinking, I filter it. If I'm filtering water catchment water, I put it through a two-step process. The final process being a Berkey stainless steel water filter. You can Google that kind of stuff. They're not secrets anymore. Let me see. Dub C Coins is still here. Says, "Hey, Mr. V Rose, Emerald Coast Stacker, don't want to ruin your name on Oahu. World travels very fast." Yeah, that's true. I definitely mind my P's and Q's. Um, I I I treat everybody the same upon initial meeting. I am purposely try to be as kind as possible, as encouraging as possible to people. I am gregarious in real life. I don't have to whisper when I'm out in public. So yeah, it's like a small town. One mistake can cause you extra work for sure if you're trying to rebuild your reputation, especially if it's business oriented. I was in sales. I was in the retail automobile sales industry here on Oahu when Acura first came out, and I'd already learned in being in the car business that yeah, your reputation, your name, your word does travel fast. And now I have found that bad news travels a little bit faster. A lot of times, satisfied customer, out of every 100 customers you have, uh, 99 of them might be super satisfied, but only a very small percentage of that would, voice those opinions voluntarily. Whereas one person, you rub one person the wrong way, it's amplified times a factor of a 99. But that's just good to me. That's just good living. I don't feel the need to um, kink somebody's day. I'd rather do the opposite. I meet people. I try to make them feel appreciated. I try to make them smile, possibly laugh. Um, I probably maybe talk a little too much, but it's fun. It's fun. Um, I like when people smile. I make a dessert, baklava dessert, probably the best in the world, definitely the best on the block. But I love seeing people's reaction to that. It kind of gives me joy to to be kind and generous to people. One thing I have discovered that some people, some personalities, will confuse kindness with weakness, and I'm still a redneck at heart. I don't have to play the redneck card very often at all, but occasionally I do, but only in public and only if instigated. And they really kind of got to push me or make me feel like my safety is threatened. Um, Emerald Coast Sacker says, "I live between Pensacola and Destin. I had a buddy in high school that used to go to Destin. He loved it there." Um, Mr. V Rose, right on at Emerald Coast Stacker. Great to meet another Floridian neighbor. Yeah. Uh, I have the hopes of meeting a Oahu neighbor here, Emperor Wang. Uh, Check out his. I think you can just hit that little or the magnifying glass search thingy and find Emperor Wang. I doubt if there's more than one. It could be, but uh, super interesting channel. Smart, very smart fella. Very book smart. Um, has a killer channel sticker. Uh, just seems like a really nice human. I hope to meet him in person. Uh, Hopefully, if we make it that far, November 10th at the Honolulu Coin Shop. But I can only go on Sunday, and I know a lot of people's Sundays are um, filled with other different activities, and I really don't know much about the Emperor, his schedule or profession or anything like that. But one can dream, Right on, V. Where do you live? Mr. V Rose, LOL. I borrowed one of shorts from a friend too. It's definitely a good one. It is. Uh, I'm stealing it if I can remember it. I should write it down, but too busy holding this camera. Poor dog. Uh, I forget what that's connected to. Mr. V Rose, I'm in Naples, all the way down on the west coast. Naples was a very popular spot for the Ohio snowbirds that I used to deal with when I was in the golf business. I worked at a private golf club. I was an assistant there, working my way through the PGA ranks. And yeah, Naples was very, very popular for people from Central Ohio. Oh, Kauai, Emerald Coast Stacker says Kauai is home of the rooster. Yeah, I got a rooster in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear him now. Speak of the devil. Um, yeah, Kauai got plenty wild chickens. I think Hurricane Iniki caused it to be exaggerated or exacerbated. But yeah, I've got my baby sister-in-law and her husband live on Kauai. He's doing really well. That Kauai could possibly be where I die, or where I'm living when I die. Um, my future's not etched in stone. Um, whatever's best for my wife, but I'm thinking it's possible that my wife will end up, after I'm dead and gone, moving to Kauai um, with her baby sister, 12 years younger. Davinia Roberts, I have subbed to you, Silver Sleuth. Thanks, man. Oh, you high up then? Yeah, it's about 1.1 miles up a road at the base of the Ko'olau mountain range, not far from the Waimano Trail, which helicopters are frequently dispatched to because sorry, pain. Um, hikers, explorers get themselves into trouble. People have been killed. Yeah, but I like it up here. I would be comfortable at my brother-in-law's place in the south part of Kauai. Very, way more jungle-like down there. He has a pretty good Second Amendment situation working out. That would be comforting. But I like it here. I'm high enough. I'm not the highest uh, house, probably maybe a dozen homes between me and the jungle, but a lot of shortcuts. Um, yeah, I like it up here. I feel a little bit more safe. I have emergency strategies. This would be a pretty easy position to um, put out some preventive measures in case of civil unrest. You know, Google caltrops, Google the high ground, that kind of philosophy, self-defense philosophy. But I don't dwell on that, but I've definitely planned for it. Yeah, I'm pretty high up. I like it. I call it up the mountain. 1.1 miles down the mountain is, you know, Walmart land. There's Food Land, Don Quixote, which is kind of like a Japanese Walmart-ish. Um, H Mart, which is a new Korean Walmart-ish store. Um, all different kinds of food. I am less than a 15-minute drive from pretty much any ethnicity food known to man. Indian, Far East Indian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Portuguese, Hawaiian, Italian, there's an Italian restaurant, probably 15-minute drive, leisurely drive at the speed limit, 35 mile an hour or less, to a place called Lazari's. It's run by a Vietnamese guy and got an elderly Vietnamese chef. And you think that's Mama Scali in the back making that chicken marsala or lasagna or whatever Italian delectables that they serve. Well, thank you for Divinia. Thank you for subbing to Silver Sleuth. Yeah, I'm up high. I'd be angry if someone did that to my dog. I love dogs. I must have missed the dog thing. I don't know. I'm a dog. I'm a dog guy. I haven't been exposed to cats very much. Pumpkin and Zumi. That's about it. My wife says in Ohio there was a cat back in my gardens. I was an extensive gardener, freeze dryer, all that stuff, trader. I'd be one of those guys with a pickup truck outside of town on the county roads with a sign, tomatoes. And I did some trading. I grew all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I'm a dog person. I've had dogs since I was a kid. High school, I found a dog at the Sears right outside the garden center at a mall in Columbus, Ohio, a little border collie. Just the cutest thing. I asked around, whose dog? Hey, took him home. I named him Collins. He was a great dog. And then eventually I met my wife. It was late 70s. They had a bull terrier, a deaf bull terrier named Charger, a male. Loved him. He loved me. I kind of became addicted. And I think in 1986, we got our first bull terrier as a couple, Makamai, born in Hawaii. Makamai means precious. Makamai was born in Hawaii and passed away in Ohio. Fast forward 30, 40 years forward. When I moved back in 17, I brought Ikaika, born in Ohio, passed away in Hawaii, and I thought that completed the bull terrier circle. But life gets in the way of life's plans. I discovered an 8-month-old white boy not far from here on Craigslist. My brother-in-law saw it, told my wife. We'd already just had the discussion 72 hours or less before then. Oh, chances are, but we're not going to get another dog. But if, God puts one in our life, somehow, we'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. And now we got Forrest. He's a perfect combination of all the bull terriers I've had in my life. And over since 1986, I did bull terrier rescue in Ohio. So I've been owned by over 50 bull terriers at various levels of duration. Sometimes I might rescue a dog. I'd call him a turnkey bull terrier. Perfect. I wanted to keep him, but I knew I couldn't keep them all. And I might only process them for 24 or 48 hours before I've already found them a pre-screened home. I used to do home visits. And uh, yeah, it's dog rescue is not a good investment. Spend a lot of money, but it gave me a lot of joy. So yeah, I don't know what somebody did to any dog or my dog. I love dogs. Yes, I love dogs. I think dogs are good judges of characters in humans. Yeah, I consider uh, my boy. Yeah, um, part of the family. East Coast, Emerald Coast Stacker states, Hawaii definitely chilled me out, and coming back to the mainland, my nice nature has perceived as weakness, which I found incredibly sad. Yeah, but I don't put that on you and I put that on uh, other people. Uh, you know, pessimist, malevolence, um, sociopathy, um, arrogance, selfishness. Those are just virtues that I choose not to participate in, and I just move on. I've even said in real life, next, when I'm done with somebody that's just not worth the hassle. Davinia says, Robbins states in Chad, I'm in the northeast of England, where we talk funny. Um, I love, and I know, I love your accent. I don't have an accent, but people have accents. Um, I can break into a pidgin English accent pretty easily. So, that has got me maybe out of a little bit of hot water from time to time. And I'm local enough. They would call a local haole like me a kama aina, possibly. I'd have to say I'm a kama aina, and I'd give me a capital K. Uh, because I've been around back and forth so much, and I have learned a lot about Hawaiian history. I know more about Hawaiian history than my Hawaiian wife, and that's not even my opinion. That's a fact, which is my opinion. But yeah, it's accents are cool. I like it. I like all kinds of accents. Sometimes it's difficult now, especially if somebody's got a heavy accent, whether it's Chinese or Pidgin or anything, or even no accent. If they're wearing a face mask, I can't hardly hear them. I just, I think masks ruin accents. But yeah, when people perceive kindness as weakness, that's on them. I wish everyone could experience and live aloha. I do too. And in a form, when I moved back to Ohio, I did take a little bit of my uh, pigeon accent. Drove my first head pro, drove him nuts. He hated it. But and I would do it on purpose around him just to touch his buttons. But yeah, aloha is nice, but I think it's taken for granted, because previously in the chat, people talking about, oh, I hear people are working 3.5 jobs. And yeah, people are stressed. People are at their wits' end right now financially. And I think that bleeds into interpersonal relations, especially with strangers, and even more especially with a stranger that they perceive some kind of where they have some kind of preconceived bias or prejudice against because of race. Tribalism is real. I understand it. Is the dog pestering you for a walk? He's not much of a walker. He likes to go out in the front yard by the mailbox and show off, just look at things. Yeah, hopefully things don't come to that. But as far as Muggsy, Forrest Gump, is concerned, he's the cheapest dog, cheapest bull terrier. Uh, I used to drink a lot of apple juice. I don't anymore because I've learned about sugar to fiber ratios and things like that. More of a holistic treatment plan for my recent heart issues. But he will chase those empty jugs that apple juice that Costco sells used to come in. I just love them. And then I go to Costco and I always get a big banana box, empty banana boxes. He loves those things. They're great for practical reasons, but it's the cheapest toys. He is just a peach. Love him. Yeah, hopefully things won't come to that, Sleuth. I agree. I'm not I'm not excited about confronting any future that involves something beyond normal and pleasant. I've been in Walmart, surprised to see guns right next to the DVDs. Not in Hawaii. They do have pellet guns near even the kids section, kids books and stuff like that. But in Ohio, yeah, Walmart used to have pretty good deals on 22 long rifle cartridges. They had I don't know if I ever purchased a gun from Walmart. I might have, but occasionally they'd have a Remington or Ruger products, and yeah, I miss that stuff. I sold every Second Amendment implement that I owned before coming back here. And then when I got up here after my father-in-law passed away, uh, my brother-in-law brought his three boys, my nephews, over and they took all of Grandpa's guns. That's fine. I have a plan for if I need a gun, but I hope, and I don't think it'll come to that. I own a dog. She's 9 now, Border Collie Cross. Man, I bet you she's smart as a Dickens. Collins was super smart, super cute, super cuddly. Uh, Davinia says, I was in New York trying to get to the airport, was asking for directions. People mistook me for a Canadian and Australian. Well, yeah, sometimes, I don't know, accents can kind of bleed together, especially if you're not exposed to them much. And I think a lot of times, most of the exposure Americans get to British accents, Canadian accents, Australian accents is through, television and, media. Uh, so, Emerald Coast Stacker asks in chat, do you collect Hawaii coinage? I just started and it's pricey. Yeah, Emerald, that's why I haven't. I do have a Hawaii State quarter. I got a clad, and then I got a proof, and it's in one of those squares like that with the staples. Actually found it at a local coin shop in Ohio. But yeah, a long time ago. I mean, when I first started noticing uh, stuff that wasn't silver American Eagle. Yeah, the pricey Kalakaua quarters, and then the internet. I discovered the internet. Yeah, super pricey. Is it worth it to me? No. I can vicariously participate and say someone like Emperor Wang. He just recently posted a video about King David Kalakaua quarter. I think they were minted in San Francisco, but for Hawaii, and I don't know what their silver percentage is. It might only be as much as 80%, possibly somewhere around there. And super pricey. Even the fakes are kind of expensive because there's a bunch of fakes, apparently. And I do hope to see some Hawaiian coinage when I go to the Honolulu Coin Show on November 10th, unless um, extracurricular activities caused by the presidential election supersede that from happening or my attendance. But yeah, I don't anticipate purchasing. Now I've got a token of, I think it says Hawaii Transit token. I can't find it right off the bat. But it's kind of cool, and I got that in Ohio. It was not expensive at all, super cheap. It's somewhere. But no, yeah, the coinage is pricey. Um, Walmart, right? So thanks for the question, Emerald Coast Stacker. And I agree with you, super expensive. Oh my goodness, 2 hours and 26 minutes. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. Looks like there's still four people left. Back to Davinia's comments. We really don't have a gun culture here in the UK. Yeah, they don't really have a gun culture here in Hawaii. On the Big Island of Hawaii and Kauai, because it's more rural-ish, um, predominantly. Yeah, they can enjoy a little bit more freedom with their firearms. Uh, Davinia says farmers have rifles here, but guns aren't widespread. Yep, I'm pretty aware of that. Not like in the U.S. Yeah, right. What Yamamoto say? There's an American with a gun behind every blade of grass. I don't think that's much of an exaggeration. Right. Well, 2.5 hours. This has been great. Thank you. My back's killing me. I'm gonna have to take a break. Just going backwards in the chat. I want to thank Davinia Robbins, uh, and thanks for subbing, Davinia, and thanks for your contributions to the chat. I really appreciate it, especially getting a woman's view on things. But we all bleed the same color. Uh, Emerald Coast Stacker. Thank you for showing up and participating. Mr. V. Rose, Mahalo Nui Loa. We have over 100 golf courses in the greater Naples area, Collier County. That might be why the people I spoke of that frequented Naples, the snowbirds, um, I encountered them at a private golf club that I worked at. So that kind of makes sense. I don't think I've ever been to Naples. I know there's a Toyota dealer in Columbus, Ohio that also has a Toyota dealership in Naples. Emerald Coast Stacker showed up today and definitely contributed to the chat wonderfully. I appreciate that, Emerald Coast Stacker. Mr. V Rose, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still scrolling. Dub C coins, nice, nice for me. There's a channel. Check that out. Wow, entertaining, educational, lots of shiny, beautiful preciousness to stare at and put the video on pause and examine and zoom in and all that good stuff. Uh, yeah, mango trees are the greatest, Mr. V Rose. Silver Stallion. Hi, Silver. Thanks for stopping in. Bradley Osmond. Wow, what a terrific uh, silver stacking channel community friend. Really appreciate your uplifting comments, your attention. Uh, super, super stoked. Um, Silver Stallion, Emerald Coast. There's been some good variation of different names here. Silver Stallion. Still looking for some. I know Liberty Bleeds. Can't forget Liberty Bleeds Silver. Oh, speaking of Liberty Bleeds Silver, he got this idea where it, he took melted red wax and it's on a like a swag bag that I think he's dispersed throughout his channel existence, and it's super cool. Uh, I wish I could steal that idea. I'm not good with blood. I'm fine with my own blood, but I'm not good with other people's blood. Uh, so that was nice. Liberty Bleeds Silver. He leads a very full, uh, busy life. Um, he doesn't. I like his guitar playing. Um, it's kind of inspiring. I still haven't purchased a guitar since I sold my guitars moving here. Had a really nice anniversary. I forget what year anniversary Strat it was. Maybe 25th. I think they started in 54. The Stratocaster 54. No, maybe 50th. 54, 2004. Yeah, I don't know what year. It was neat. It wasn't super special. It was didn't have special pickups or had a little applique, but it was made in America, and I knew at that point. Mr. V Rose, I that was important to me, not because of uh, any prejudice, just because of quality, workmanship, value, liquidity, that kind of stuff. Power chords, bar chords, ouch. But I'm going to get me a guitar. I missed one on Craigslist. It was the brand name, I'm not familiar with it, is a Mitchell. Had a hard shell case, just an acoustic, less than $100, but it sold fast. And apparently they sell them at Guitar Center, but I don't like buying brand new stuff. I like secondhand stuff. So I'll get something. My first guitar was a secondhand. I did buy that Stratocaster brand new from a store. I don't remember the name of the store. It wasn't Sam something or other. I forget. It's been a while. I ended up stop playing guitar. I rescued it was before fancy phones and or before me having a fancy phone. But anyway, I went on a rescue mission for a bull terrier. It turned out he's probably part bull terrier, part American bulldog. Big boy, I named him Ezekiel Zachariah. He was so easy, but Zeke was tied up with a lock and chain behind a shed at a graveyard. Someone had abandoned him. He turned out to be one of the greatest dogs ever. I think he lasted about 12 years. Liberty Bleeds Silver. But yeah, check out Liberty. He got an eclectic selection of video subjects and really clever twist on words and graphics and introductions and just very, very entertaining. Lots of um, lots of really quick shorts with good music. But like I said, sometimes he's playing his own guitar, and it turns out there's a bunch of guitar players and knife collectors that are in this stag community. Uh, Captain Nobi, Dillho. Don't know what that means, but thanks for showing up. Um, silver, Silver Decline, Divinia. Bye, Silver Stallion. Liberty Bleeds. Let me see if I got any more unique names. I have. Cyclops Stacks. I've seen his name in my very few lives before. Great to have you. Have to head to town. Have a blessed day, everyone. You too. Be safe. Uh, watch your six. I'm into situational awareness. Yeah, I hate winter too. Davinia. Larry Bleed, Cyclops. Come on, keep going, keep scrolling. Got some hearts and smiley face. Keep going, moving. So I'm running out of unique names. I sure appreciate everybody that showed. 210 stacks, 210 stacks. Good day, peeps. Awesome. I'm learning these code words. Peeps means people. GTSY, good to see you. Cyclops is a stacker, right on. The Saint. You can afford your pills in retirement. Yeah. Nah, I don't like pills. Probably, although, man, I could use some Demerol or Dilaudid or morphine right this second. I saw an interesting one of those ads that I rarely click on, and even more rarely click through, but it was a CBD gummy with 98 point something percent satisfaction effectiveness for pain relief, specifically pain relief CBD. And I'm not opposed to cannabinoids whatsoever, whether it's strictly CBDs or Delta 8 or Delta 9 derived from what would be officially classified as hemp, or just plain old heavy THC laden uh, cannabis oil, flower. I grew up in the 70s, and I went through all that. So we talked about live streams. We talked about some of us feel like we're old. Uh, I appreciate Cyclops' stack opinions and theories and thoughts on how stacking strategies change as we get older, or boom, uh, are old. Zoom on. The Saint. The ratio is 76 currently. Yeah, I don't pay much attention to that GSR stuff. I understand the math involved and the strategy involved, and but for my long-term goals, it just doesn't really fall into play. And again, I'm fortunate that I got into gold and silver. Wow, I other than living a pretty honest, trustworthy life. And having a relationship with my higher power, I don't know how I got that lucky. And that was that. I would say that was a little bit of luck, mostly luck with a little bit of labor under correct knowledge, because it didn't take me long to get past the learning curve when it came to, you know, Austrian economics versus the mess that's going on. Yeah, we talked about Ron Paul. People are selling for sure. Going to make a gold back or a silver back origami. Still testing that theory. Again, I'm not sure. Thank you for encouraging me to ramble on, and I'm coming to a close once I make sure I touch base with everybody that I need to thank for joining. Uh, yeah, I am not. None of my plans are etched in stone now. I feel comfortable with attaining the weight goals that I had already gotten, and then kind of caught up a little bit, that more of a collection goal as opposed to weight. So I'm in a good position. And so, yeah, I've been fortunate, lucky, maybe a little bit aware. I think that didn't hurt. But I encourage everybody at any stage, at any time, to buy what you can, when you can, on a scheduled budget, if that's needed. If you got a ton of money and you don't have cash and you don't have precious metals, oh, well, I just can't encourage you enough to you know, put some numbers down on paper and treat it like casino money if you have to. If you got a bunch of money, treat it like you're going to the casino. When I'd go to the casino and I took $500, I planned on leaving without $500. Treat it like that. But for most of us, we have budgets, we have income restrictions, we have other obligations and investments and priorities. And so, but yeah, buy what you can when you can while you can, without neglecting other priorities and investments and obligations. Okay, so we talked about, oh, they are Gator. How could I forget Gator golden coins? Uh, God bless you, Gator. We talked about being your own bank. See, stop causing trouble. I'm using too much water. It's so funny. Uh, if you haven't, if you haven't checked out Gator's channel, I encourage you to. You know, you just don't. He's a wonderful uh, exercise in teaching yourself how to not take things quite so seriously as sometimes we have. Long-lived coins. There's a good name. Well, thank you for your contributions. I don't know how you guys get somebody's name with the at symbol in front of it show up in a white rectangle like that, but that's pretty cool. Yes, you get to Bekele. I'm probably putting more of a Japanese slash Hawaiian pronunciation on your name, but thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in. Once this thing gets to the point where I can click on that avatar of yours, I'll check out your channel and uh, see what you're all about. Not all about, but see what you're about that you're willing to share with people on YouTube. So let me see now. So back to the end. Cranky's here. All right, you didn't miss much. You could have gotten in uh, 2 hours and 40 minutes ago and not have missed anything if you stayed the whole time. But I appreciate you showing up. Uh, I I know you seem like your video frequencies have increased. I feel like I'm subscribed to so many channels, so many stackers, and even non-stacking stuff that it's really it's tough to keep up with. So, yep. So, bye, chat folks. Yay, Mr. Viros. Thank you for your great contribution to conversation and the stream. Catch you next time. Appreciate it. Look forward to it. There. Ooh, concurring lion. Wow, that's a pretty cool logo, even though it's kind of microscopically small. Just got back from my LCS. Thanks for the live stream. Oh man, I am not jealous of you, concurring lion. Yes, I am. To be able to go to a local coin shop. Wow, that just, man, I could, I, I'm, I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you. And maybe I'll be able to get a similar sensation feeling when I hopefully get to attend my first coin show ever, November 10th in Honolulu, if the election results don't cause something to prevent that from happening for me or for the event. Yes, thank you, Mr. V. Rose. Appreciate it. Bye, chat, folks. Everyone is welcome at the Stat Collector live stream tonight in about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I'm thinking that, there we go. Oh, so Davinia is going to have a Stat Collector live stream event tonight in about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I don't know how long ago that was, but I'm closing this up pretty soon. And once I do some stretching and take some, I got to take my stent medication, my heart pill, which isn't forever, 6 to 18 months, and a baby aspirin. And I'm probably going to take 2 Tylenol because that's all I got for pain right now. But I'm going to check on my flexibility. So thanks for the invite. I will be looking for that. We talk about the spot price, new releases, and what we picked up over the week. Those are my favorite. The spot price, it's just, it is what it is. But when people publish their thoughts on new releases, or especially when they show what they've either picked up at a coin shop or at a yarn sale or at an auction or on whatnot, or uh, just trading with community members, uh, mail calls. That's entertaining. It makes the lack of being able to do those kind of activities just a little easier to bear. Cranky Stacker, thank you. No, you didn't miss much. Just ending. Yep, Davinia, very good. Enjoyed. Thank you, Concurring Lion. Uh, Greg, you listen on the replay. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. Life is crazy, but definitely worth living. Uh, Davinia says, bye. See you at the Stack Collector later. Do well, Davinia. You don't strike me as someone that needs to worry about luck too often. Just, what I forget what they say. Luck is preparation, meeting opportunity. I call luck labor under correct knowledge. Do well. Uh, no, but you'll be in the chat. Okay, that's cool too. Then I can pretend like I know you. Oh, I do know you. I won't have to pretend. The Cranky Stacker. The Stack Collector is a rock star. Don't miss his Stack chat. The name looks familiar. I'll have to look at my subscriptions. Davinia Robbins says, one of the file comments, there's still 4 humans besides me, I think, in here. I've gotten 17 thumbs up. Thank you. Smiley emoji. I am not the Stack Collector. Well, thank you for that send off, Davinia. Thank you for the directions to. Oh, there's a new person, the Numismaniac. What a great name! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I see a Canadian flag, a heart, an American flag, and a smiley face, a happy smiley face. Thanks for stopping in, Numismaniac. Great name. Great name. Yeah, we're just wrapping it up. It's been a long time. You didn't miss much. Typical rambling and stuff, but a great audience participation event, in my opinion. I really appreciate it. And I do thank you, the Numismaniac. Well, that's a mouthful. Uh, Thank you so much for clicking on the link or live button, whatever, however that stuff works. But we're just ending it up because it's been long. I real briefly, in case this doesn't get posted for like the regular videos, I've been having difficulties posting regular videos, and thought I'd do a live to kind of test to see if lives would work. The shorts seem to work okay, and because I'm a newbie, and I just thought I'd experiment, and it turned into a live chat marathon. I tried to catch as many as I can, says the Numismaniac, comma. So I hope to catch you when you start one. Well, I appreciate that. It was kind of a spur of the moment uh, decision, but appreciate the attention, the comments especially, and super flattered. Uh, but I'm I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to you, but I'm going to review all that and make sure those that want subscriptions get mine, and those that have my subscriptions get an extra like and comment. Uh, it's a little awkward discovering a new channel and commenting on a video that was from a year and a half ago or 6 months ago, but they figure it out. They figure out I ain't right in the head. Spontaneous chats are the best. Stay with it. Yeah, spontaneous is definitely a lot easier, but my videos are pretty spontaneous. Although of course, ironically, yesterday, I was all proud of myself for actually putting together a very vague outline of for my video. What was I calling that thing? I even did a short, kind of tried to get the word out. Stacking gold and silver, past, present, and future. But yeah, fail. But maybe it's somebody's talking about the big channels, and I thinking about it now. I don't know if I've ever tried to post a video on a Friday, a Thursday, Friday, or a Saturday for that matter. So maybe the weekend part of it has something to do with that, and I don't know. It was a strange message, but I don't know. You guys are proof that at least it's working on this live stream stuff. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm still on this thing. Sorry, I can just go on and I'm in a lot of pain, but you folks are really have helped me for the last 2 hours and 49 plus minutes. Kind of take my mind off of again, I think I've improved from totally unbearable almost 99% of the time to just excruciatingly painful 70% of the time, especially if I move or breathe or talk or sometimes think. Well, the sun here will be setting in 30 minutes or less, Divinia. I believe that because the sun's coming up here. Um, the hours of 3:30, 2:30 till sunup, which is right now 6:30, are my favorite time of the day. It's super comfortable. Uh, I do have to be quiet, but I have to be no more quiet at 0400 than I do at noon around here because the houses are so close. But yeah, I feel you, Nemes Maniac. There's a lot of great channels, and sometimes I kind of feel like I'm missing out if I don't, you know, peruse as many as I possibly can. I have been slacking off on other interests that I used to occasionally look at before I discovered the stacking community, which kind of addicting, this stacking community stuff, because of the entertainment factor, the human factor, the camaraderie factor, the love of looking at really pretty coins and rounds and bars and all kinds of neat gizmos made out of silver and gold, and yes, platinum and maybe even palladium. I still have no clue what is palladium, but thank you so much. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's definitely a medicine alarm. Um, so, Frankie, thank you so much. Numismaniac, thank you. Yeah, it's a 1 kilo kookaburra. Yeah, that was it's kind of accidental. Not really. It was just, it was there. It wasn't, per ounce. Yeah, it was more, it's like buying 32 eagles, regular plain eagles, nothing fancy eagles, not proofs or anything like that. But when I work slab stuff, but same thing. Everything I try to stay around to whatever the going rate was that day, with the amount compared to the amount of money that I had budgeted to convert into something besides folding stuff. Yes, spring forward, fall back, I think they call it. We don't do that here, but we are affected by it. And so I always try to let people know, like if talking to somebody on the phone or if they're calling from the mainland or whatever, or having to do with stacking here on these channels, I just let them know that I'm 6 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. And then when they fall back, I switch to 5 hours. It's only time change really affects me now. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, Divinia. You've enhanced uh, my enjoyment of this time period, and I'm pretty sure that other people as well. Uh, New perspective, new ideas, new personalities. I think that only lends to the overall satisfactory experience of this stacking community channel posting, viewing, clicking, liking, commenting process. I like it. We will have dark morning and dark afternoons. Had a good time being here. Well, me too. So we're down to two people. That could just be you and me, Davinia. I don't know if that number two up there, if that numeral includes me, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Again, thank you very, very much for all and any participation, any attention. Um, in the meantime, before the next time, I'll be looking for you folks on your channels and your videos and shorts and lives. And have a great day. Thank you so much. And All right, then. Bye.